Добрый день, поважанные сябры Европейского
Dear members
парламента.
of the European Parliament, my name is Palina Sharenda-Panasiuk, and I represent here the European Belarus Civil Campaign. We support the integration of free Belarus into Europe, and this flag is the symbol of our struggle, of our fight, and of our movement. Because of these flags, my friends and I have been beaten, imprisoned, and subjected to terrible torture. Our campaign was also involved in the preparation of the revolution of 2020, and that is why I was arrested in January 2021, along with other members of our European Belarus campaign. I spent 4 years as a political hostage of the Lukashenko regime. I endured all the hell of the dictator's prisons, where the methods of physical and psychological torture from Stalin's times remain unchanged. 4 years of complete isolation from the outside world, from my children and my family. 4 years spent in solitary confinement in prison transport vehicles, and a total of 2,070 days in so-called punishment cells, places of total isolation and torture. But I endured and I was freed. I was freed in part thanks to your principled position, dear members of the European Parliament. I am especially grateful to President Roberta Metsola for her tireless efforts in securing my release. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the members of this House who fought for my freedom. But thousands of other political prisoners remain hostages of the terrorist regime in Belarus. Among them, my friends from the European Belarus campaign, Yauchen Afnachel, Maxim Winiarski, Andrei Voynich, and Pavel Yuchnevich. For more than 2 years, there has been no information at all about many political prisoners, including Nikolai Statkevich. We don't even know whether he is still alive. The situation with women political prisoners, as Victoria Kulsha, Alena Knauk, and Volka Mayorova, is also catastrophic. I am deeply worried for their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, for 30 years there have been concentration camps in the very heart of Europe, on the very border of the European Union, places where people are tortured and killed simply because they want freedom. It is unacceptable for the civilized world to allow Belarus to remain under the rule of a mentally deranged terrorist. I was freed only because of the pressure on this regime. Do not believe the regime's false claims. Do not believe the lies of its cronies that political prisoners are released on humanitarian grounds. They are not, because people are tortured into signing pardon letters to Lukashenko. They are forced to give confession statements and to sign cooperation agreements with the KGB. They are beaten, mutilated, blackmailed, and they are threatened. Hundreds of thousands of Belarusians were forced to flee the country, threatened with new repressions. And I call for increased pressure on Lukashenko's regime, not only through new sanctions, but also through a stricter monitoring of their enforcement. A full blockade and trade embargo under Article 33 of the International Labour Organization Charter must be imposed. And there should be no transit of goods from China and other eastern countries to Europe through the concentration camp named Belarus. The regime must be completely ostracized politically, economically, and also during all sports events. And these are real actions that will force the regime to release political prisoners. It will be the first step toward the liberation of all the people of Belarus. Without a free Belarus, the existence of freedom and democracy in Europe will always be under threat, including under threat from Russian aggression. Furthermore, a victory in Ukraine will not be possible without a free Belarus. Belarusian opposition is fighting against dictatorship for a free, independent and democratic Belarus. We are fighting for the values on which the European Union is founded. In this struggle, we need your help. We need your help to protect and defend our own values. You can help us to free our friends and leaders who are currently in prison. You can help Europe get rid of the criminals who unleashed the bloody war on Ukraine, Lukashenko and Putin. For our freedom and yours, long live Belarus.
Now it's you, okay? Thank you very much, dear Palina. I now pass the floor to Crimean Tatar and former political prisoner Leni Umerova.